This is the first time we've ever presented a financial statement at any board meeting. So the board wanted to be more transparent and start to show this information on a monthly basis, which we're going to try to do. The financial statements will hopefully be published and available before every board meeting so people can look at the detail of them before they see the summarize. And we'll try to put something together for the next meeting that we can give you a better idea where we think we stand.
You may want to just do it quarterly. I mean, monthly you can have a lot of swings. I mean, we really, as a resident, you just really need the key pieces of information. You may want to think about that. The more detail just kind of runs down, people don't understand it, whatever, you may want to consider it.
Yes, sir?
You mentioned, am I correct, that it was 58,000 owed by delinquencies over 90 days?
Yeah.
The accounts that I focused on, yes, it was about 58,000 on it.
What about the over 30 and over 60 numbers? Is it dramatically higher?
No, so the key with Florida statute is I can't start going after anybody collections-wise or amenity restrictions until they get that 90-day plateau.
But what is the magnitude of over 60?
I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I would have to go back and look at it.
I got worse.
Okay. I think it's on the flash.
Yeah. At the end of February, the grand total is $146,000, which is basically like 3-4%. And when we were talking with that individual about getting a line of credit, they said anybody who, or any HOA that had less than 5% is considered a good credit risk. Over 30 days is $55,000. Over 90 days is $86,000. There's $4,000 other recurring, less than 30 days. I mean, when we were with Evergreen, the number used to be like $400,000 or $500,000.
Yeah, just one last thing too. Last month our accounts receivable was $223,000, and now we're at $146,000 total. In the back.
Just something you said earlier, Adam, about the labor percentage to revenue. That's the biggest expense for beach club. And I'm not so interested in the absolute dollars, because that's going to go up and down as the season. What I'm really interested is the percentage.
Correct.
And it's run pretty high the first couple of months. And you alluded to the fact that as things get slower, it's going to get better. How is it we maintain in the busy season, and the percentage is going to get worse as we get to the...
Well, as I'm talking, I'm sorry, I'm talking total over budget, not necessarily a percentage. I'm talking $126,000 over budget. That number, obviously, we make tremendous gains out of season because the payroll dollars are lower. As far as the percentage, you're right. That is the driver. That's what we need to focus on the most. Clubs are a crazy thing. Those percentages compared to normal everyday restaurants are nowhere near each other. Glenn provided to me a report by club consultants, and we're going to look at a couple other ones. Total percentages, I mean, we're looking at salaries and wages at 63%, and then payroll taxes and employee benefits at 15%. You add those two together, well, we're nowhere near that, obviously. We're in the 50s, that's in the 70s. That's not to say that it just gives us the green light to go crazy on salary, obviously, but the standard out there to where we're at, we need to get in line with budget. No one's saying anything like that, but compared to the industry standard, I think we're doing much better, especially with the first time with U-Bar being open, not knowing what our projections were going to be. I think we're doing well.
I have a question that's actually not related to today's presentation. I have a question regarding the speed bumps within the community. 3 questions, actually, all related to speed bumps. I'm kind of surprised where the speed bumps are. First off, I'll be the first one to admit that I own a high-performance car. Not that I speed in here, but I'm just saying I have a low-profile front end. And I noticed the speed bumps at different heights, and then they're in places that don't make sense to me. From a standpoint of the speed bumps you would think would be before crosswalks, right? You have a pedestrian crosswalk, you'd have a speed bump maybe 30 or 40 feet before the crosswalk so that people slow down for people who are crossing the road. Then we have 2 speed bumps on the back side of the association where there's no houses on either side, and then we have one speed bump going the other way out the back gate. So what happens is that it forces people, not forces, but if you're a kind of guy like me that's a numbers guy, I'm like, well, I can go one speed bump if I go this way, or two speed bumps if I go that way. I'm going to go the one speed bump way, which pushes me past all the residences. So it takes all the traffic and drives it down Marblestone. So my question is, did we do a study to do the speed bumps? How did we determine where they were going to go? How did we come up with a spec on their height and things of that nature?
Sure. Wasn't that formal. We'll admit that. When we first kicked around speed bumps, we were getting a tremendous amount of complaints about the speeding on West Corey. Indy 500, that's all we ever heard. Those that live in Nickel and Cobalt can tell you that the speeding along that stretch, it is a quarter-mile straightaway with nothing impeding you. No stop sign, no neighborhoods, nothing to stop at. We felt, with the amount of complaints we were getting, or feedback we were getting, that was the number one most important area to get speed bumps. I get your point about them being at strange heights. The company that we hired, Bell Paving, does speed bumps everywhere in here. I'm not sure why we're 1 inch higher here, half inch lower there. I'm not sure. I can't answer that question. I can't say I went out there and measured them after they were done putting them in. They seemed pretty uniform to me, until obviously now that we've looked at them and got really close to them, we've seen the inconsistencies. You got a third part?
Why don't we have them in front of crosswalks instead of on straightaways?
Sure. Well, it was kind of a test, if you will. We wanted to get them on West Corey. We wanted to slow down the speeding on that backside, just to see what kind of feedback we get in the community. It's been pretty mixed. We've had some folks ask us for more.
You know, they don't have any in Heritage Bay, for what it's worth.
For what it's worth, Heritage Bay's general manager, Robert Stalock, emailed me and asked me if we loved our speed bumps because they want to put the same ones in. Everywhere you go to the community.
Plus, they give tickets.
Right.
Internally, they have radar.
That's true. They actually have a radar gun system in their community for.
Well, I think that's a great idea. What's wrong with that? We have a budget deficit we're trying to close.
You gotta tell them what kind it is. What kind of car? You gotta tell them what kind it is. Reference to the speed bumps, I probably don't need it, my mouth is big enough. Reference to the speed bumps, we've been getting a lot of complaints of speeders, and what he said was right, people are dodging speed bumps to go, so we're actually having more of a problem because they're dodging speed bumps, so the neighborhoods are getting more traffic than they're normally getting. So I contacted the county. I did some research on it and found out that in Florida, for HOAs, you have to get county permission, whether it's private property or public property, to do that, to put in speed bumps. They have to be traffic engineered, they have to be approved by the county, and it has to be done to the same height and everything. Well, that wasn't done for these speed bumps. There was no permit permitted, so that's where we're at in this thing. So we're in a little junction now. What do we do? So I'm kind of waiting for the county to get back to me and tell me where we're at on this. And so the speed bumps are an issue, but the bottom line, guys, we can still put them in and spend the money to do them, but you got to slow down. I mean, that's the goal of the speed bumps, is the speeding. So we'll probably do our part doing all this homework on the speed bumps, but you guys got to do your part and slow down so we don't have to go back and put these things in and spend more money that the county wants us to spend to do these speed bumps right. So that's kind of where we're at on that point. So Heritage Bay, they can call me, but I'll tell them that there's a proper procedure to do it, and unfortunately we didn't do it this time.
I think we just put stop signs, make people stop.
Well, the Access Control Committee we met with today is part of some of the investigation that we're going to look forward to and see if that can be done without spending all this money that the county wants us to do with these traffic studies.
One thing I know about stop signs is that that takes an amendment to your PUD, if you will. We know how that works, the amendments to the PUD. It's not as detailed. You don't have to go and get permission from the neighbor next door and all that stuff like that. But that is a PUD traffic change. We have talked to engineers in the past year about installation of stop signs, all that crazy stuff. But there's a process, if you will. It's just the Access Control Committee. We can make recommendations, and we have to get a traffic study done on those areas. Sir?
The Heritage Bay Umbrella Association is sitting on quite a bit of funds. Has it dispersed any funds back to the QCA?
They have, yes. I'm trying to think of the exact number off the top of my head, but they paid for our mowing this summer. That was not obviously anything that we budgeted for in 2016's budget. All the mowing that took place in this community came back from funds that came back from the Heritage Bay Umbrella Association. Any leftover funds we have right now, we're looking to do withdrawals.
It was about 60.
They dispersed the money back to the
66,000.
QCA.
It was 190
They didn't spend any of that on Boulder Lake or the other over Heritage Bay.
I'll let Gary, I think you have an answer for that, obviously.
I didn't hear the question. Well, I was talking to Barry.
He's talking.
We gave back about 66,000 to the quarry this year.
He's curious about the funds that are given back to the Heritage Bay CDB and what did they do with their money?
Well, funds are fungible, so we couldn't give them $190,000, which is what they got back, because it's what they paid in, and we were later to the game, so we paid less in. Everybody got back what they